In today's video, we will be recreating and transforming Grian's Season 6 mansion in the minigame district from this into this. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off by clearing up the exterior because it needs clearing up. It's an absolute mess, so getting rid of the whatever was there, changing the sand into grass because it will fit in with the environment later on when we put it into a world for you to download. More on that later. Got rid of the obsidian pillar. Clearing up, there were a bunch of chests and things outside. We want to get rid of them as well, and obviously that bridge because it does not fit in. And then we get rid of the torches mostly because we don't need them and it makes things difficult. Get rid of the paths because at the end of the day we don't need those paths and they just do not fit in when we put them in the world. And I had to relight the graveyard, which is why I turned it to night, because it was badly lit, shall we say. And now we just put in some windows on the sides. It's fairly symmetrical except for the fact that the second window to the right was further right because it went over the, I don't even know, the graveyard shed better. And this back window, which we're working on now, and a few more, and we had to detail it a bit. I did some detailing on the front as well, and I pushed the middle window out a bit as it was a bit flat and a wall, and just adding a little campfire. Now we're going on to the interior, so the first thing I do is again clean up the interior. It's very important. You've got to put in the floor, get rid of torches, things like that. All these things need to be cleared up. The walls, everything needs to be done like this. Clear everything up. We added in a campfire because, well, we do that later, but we fixed up the area behind the chimney. You couldn't see that in the video, but there is a bit in the chimney which we had to get rid of, and we just cleaned up the floors a bit, so it's easier to work with when we get up to them. And then did this, put in a floor or a roof over there, and put in a roof here. Used a bit of world edit because I cheat, and I think we also did, yep, we did that there as well. Now I believe we're now going to head down and we're going to start working on, yes, support pillars. Now this is also very important when I use stripped spruce because it fits very well with the normal spruce obviously, and non-stripped spruce just did not work. I tried it, and I must say it does change a lot when you change something as simple as this. Just look at that doorway. That is just, it's a really nice entrance. Here we added a fireplace because it was a bit bare and it needed something, and we now worked on this took a while actually, an entrance to the graveyard, but we got there in the end. Just lighting it up more, and we detailed the stairs a bit. I quite like this detail with the trapdoors. I was trying to work out how to do a railing successfully. It did not go well, shall we say, and now we have to try and find the right height for the lantern, which also didn't take one. Put in the carpet, and here we built a chair which I believe I replaced later with dark oak because spruce, it works too well with the building so it doesn't look real. And shelves, more shelves here. We pretty much just put shelves everywhere really. Chests and things, we sort of did a bit of detailing, and these shelf units, I put them everywhere and they really break up the build quite a lot. I quite like them. Quite a few of them were removed later, but they do really break up the build, you'd be surprised. And that room we do not go into yet because we work on that later separately. It's quite a big room, not massive, but compared to everything else it's quite big. Adding in some flower pots, that sort of thing. I did also add candles later on instead of torches, so we got rid of torch lighting, and that room was never used. I don't know why really, I just didn't use it. This table took a long time to design. I kept changing it. I kept going back and forth to it. I never got it right. I think there might be another, yeah, here. The entire thing. It's been redesigned multiple times, but we got it eventually. One thing you might notice is in a key pattern, in almost every room I think it is, there is a poppy in a flower pot. I don't really know why, but there just is. There you see I changed the chair to dark oak instead of spruce so it didn't fit in. I added a bit of railing here, and now we go into the, I guess this is the main office room, maybe? I'm not entirely sure really. I kind of just built. As you can see, I tried this new carpet design with wool and carpet, as it kind of gives it more texture. And wardrobe time. This took a lot of planning because I was trying to, well, not planning, but it took a while because I couldn't decide how far into the walls it was going to be. And now we start on this. So we start with a nice dinner table. I do move this eventually. Yep, there we go. Add in some chairs. I quite like the dinner plates being dead coral. I think that worked quite well. And then we get onto the actual main kitchen. You can see one of those cupboards again and that carpet design, which I really like. I had to adjust the height a bit, but we got there in the end. And now we're going to go on to the second floor. Now I could not get onto this. This was very difficult for me. I was trying to work out how to do things, it didn't stick. There's a surprisingly large amount of recording time in here that is just nothing. It's just me sitting still doing nothing because I did not know what to do. But eventually we got somewhere. Paintings, I started with the paintings this time rather than ending with them, mostly because I had nothing to do. And we have some tables in the front. I quite like this top floor. It's definitely one of my favourite. Simple tables, a lectern in the middle because I don't even know. And this shelf unit, which turned out pretty well, I'd say. Dead bushes, it kind of gives the place a dead feel. And I don't know why the amethyst is there, but it is. Yes, it's a bit weird, but anyhow. I quite like the levels in this room as well. The other room opposite has levels like this as well. It's quite nice. It gives it more detail and just levels, really. Levels are quite important in builds. And this definitely achieves that without meaning to achieve it. It wasn't meant to, but it was better than having a slope or anything like that, or just, I don't even know, you name it, it wouldn't have worked. This one is more of a bedroom, and this one is more of an office sort of library thing. It's got the same staircase design, all that, but there's a lot more shelving units like those. I don't know why I connected them, but it kind of looks cool with them. There's 3 shelves already, and we haven't even got into anything else, and now we're building the desks. A couple of desks here. Light up the torches, obviously. Candles, not torches. Torches, we had to get rid of them because they were just torch spam everywhere. I also had to move the shelving unit so there'd be space because the trapdoors take up a lot of space. That's a whole 6 blocks wide and it's only 2 shelving units. It was quite annoying, but you know. And we're on to this. Now I really like this. From the outside it looks amazing. It's just a little room. I quite like the roof as well, it's different. It's a very compact room, but I quite like it. It came out pretty well, and as you'll see in a moment, the door doesn't actually lead anywhere. It's blocked off on the back because I don't really know. It just worked better like that. As you can see, a couple of shelving units. It's a very symmetrical design, this entire thing. Obviously, the detailing on the desks isn't as symmetrical, but you have to start somewhere. I believe I changed the roof quite a few times actually. There was not enough detail, and then there's too much detail, and then there wasn't enough. It was confusing. You see, I tried to use trapdoors to add more detail. It was a nightmare, but it was great, and I think it's turned out quite well. Did I actually put a poppy in here? Can't remember. I might not have. Oh no, there's one. Found one. And finally, I believe this is the final part. Now we have the attic room thing. Now this was quite simple. It's as much as I say it's simple, you'd be surprised how difficult it is to completely pack a room with chests and barrels. It is quite difficult because they've got to be like that, and then you've got to put them on top of each other. It's not exactly what I'd have hoped for, but it's a start. And obviously the cobwebs, you've got to have cobwebs. If there weren't any cobwebs, you know what would you have? You just have nothing. I mean, it was a bit of a nightmare. Sometimes I got caught in it. And that's it. Okay guys, so that is the transformation done, and as you can see here, it's looking really nice with these shaders on. Don't ask how I managed to do it. My computer does not like it, but we've got it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be making more if you like this. I definitely enjoyed making it, and that's really it from me for this video. So I'll see you next time. Goodbye. This has been Kasp. Go check out Actually Survival, because just check it out. Lots of stuff is happening. We had a new member. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.